Hello.
Hi, Samuel. How are you today?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
How about you?
I'm good.
Good.
Alrighty. So, as we are diving in today, what would you say are your main goals for this session?
Uh, kind of got two goals.
Okay.
One, how do you manage your time and work a little more efficiently? Because, I'm a little tired of having the same excuse, oh, I didn't do this. And then I don't know if you have that viewpoint or not, but I kind of feel silly just coming to class with nothing done every time.
I mean, I still think that we get good work done in the session. So I think that that's a positive thing. That's a good thing. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think too, like, kind of looking at your schedule and like what's possible for you, and then going, like looking at all of that. What do you
Mm-hmm.
feel like is doable and getting a plan for yourself? I find that really helpful that you go in with a plan. So you've got everything scheduled out, and also being like realistic with yourself as well of
Okay.
what you feel like is doable. Um, so like thinking about your week and just kind of thinking through it, what feels doable to you looking ahead?
Mm, on average week,
Hmm.
Thursday is really open for me
Okay.
considering I don't have a lot of class.
Yeah.
The only problem is I'm stuck at the shop the whole time, which is kind of annoying because, I can do most of the stuff that I do there is computer work, so I can do it at
Mm.
home. But of course, they always say, "Oh, we want you in the shop because it looks cool." Yeah, there's not much other reason behind besides that.
I see.
Hmm.
Well,
Hmm.
what can you do while you're at the shop? So even if you can't be recording, what could you be doing while you're there? Because it sounds like you have time. You just have to be like more quiet while you're there, or like you don't have your setup while you're there. So what could you do while you're there?
Mm, I guess. Mm, I guess I could be working harder to make that website that I was supposed to a bit ago.
Hmm.
There's I could be finding sound effects. That's something I could do.
Yeah,
Hmm.
absolutely. That's a great idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
So kind of planning ahead, what can I do while I'm there? What's possible for me to do while I'm there? And then thinking also going, okay, so if I think through the rest of the week, what would be a time that you feel like you possibly could get some recording done?
Hmm.
So what do you
Uh,
think?
possibly. I would say Thursday of this week, but I had to schedule an emergency vet visit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Lizard isn't doing too well.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And then Tuesday is pretty good because I only have two classes then.
Okay.
That could be a good idea.
Yeah.
Sunday
So
is good
maybe like
too.
planning for yourself, like going, okay, so Tuesdays I have XYZ. Yeah. So thinking of like what time frames. So like Tuesdays, what time frame do you feel like you could do some recording?
Uh, could probably do some. Let me look at my phone real quick. Because if I get home at around 6, I
Hmm.
basically have everything from, well, 6:15 to um basically 2:12.
Okay.
So that's plenty of time to record. And
Sure.
if I can squirm my way out of going to the shop and doing the stuff here, I could definitely be doing a lot more hours worth of that.
Okay.
I'm gonna see if I can convince them.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is too, like looking at the schedule that you have some time that you could work on things, right? So
Yeah.
blocking those times off on your calendar and saying, I'm dedicating this time to working on voiceover, right? So,
hmm
so can you look at your calendar right now and let's just make a plan. Let's put it into your calendar right now.
Yep. Opening
Yeah.
up
So
Google
today's
Calendar.
Monday. So thinking about tomorrow, what time is open and what time is it feasible that you could potentially work on voice acting?
Hmm. So tomorrow, um, if I can get out of going to the shop,
Mhm.
basically I got I got from basically 11 to the whole afternoon. Well, lunch is at 1, so it'd be 2 hours lunch, and then would be basically the rest of that afternoon.
Mhm.
hmm
Okay. Yeah.
So that
So
could
what
be.
if you can't get out of going to the shop? Is there any time that you potentially could work on it, even a half hour somewhere?
Uh, I could definitely after 6 is the time where I kind of do either homework or, you know, or
Yeah.
others. So if I can finish more homework, I can get I can use that time for voiceover instead. Use the spare time that I make.
Okay. Sure.
So what I could do is from from 10 to 1, I could be using to finish homework
Okay.
since I'll basically be around the university
Hmm.
because at 10 I got piano practice, then go finish all that, head to lunch, then head to the house and do some recording.
Okay, great. Love it. Sounds
Yeah.
good. What about Wednesday? Do you have any time then, or is Wednesday not a good day?
Wednesday is funny enough. I It's kind of another day if I can squirm out of class because,
Mhm.
well, not class work, because the time that I have that I would have spent working on homework,
Hmm.
so those 2 hours will be taken up by the bio lecture and choir.
Okay.
So if I can get out of the shop then,
So,
I could use
yeah, and let's
everything
think
from
about
one
like
to.
even if you can't get out of going to the shop, what could you do? Right? So,
hmm
Wednesday, is that a pretty full day? Would that be a tougher day to work on
Yeah.
voiceover? Okay, so
Yeah,
maybe
it's
we say
the
Wednesday
busiest
we
day.
don't do it, and that's okay. So then Thursday, you said you go to the shop. Is there any time that you're not at the shop that you feel like you could work on voiceover?
Mm, Pretty much I think the only day that I don't go to the shop is Sunday. It's
Okay,
mainly because my mom's Catholic and it's like a
sure.
whole ordeal.
Yeah. So Thursday, do you spend the entire day at the shop? Like, is there any time that you're not there that you feel like you could work on voice acting?
Mm, pretty much. Yeah, if I don't have piano trials, which this week I do, but I
Okay,
don't think I'll be able to make it because of the vet appointment.
sure. Yeah, no problem at all. So
Mhm.
this Thursday is no, but Tuesday you have some time. And then what about Friday? Do you have any time then?
Uh, Sadly, no. Friday's the busiest
That's
day.
okay. And then what about Saturday?
Saturday?
Hmm.
Yeah, that's a free day.
Okay. So what time could you set aside to work on voice acting Saturday?
Uh, I could do. mm, I could do like 10 in the morning till around 12 to 2.
Okay.
12 or 2.
Perfect. All right. So you're going to mark that off as time you're going to dedicate. Now, Thursday, you had some ideas of things that you can do to help with your voice acting, even though you won't be able to record at that time. So you can still do those things while you're at the shop, right? And
Yeah.
then Sunday, you said you might have some time too. So what time could you set aside on Sunday that you could use to work on voiceover?
Mm, that depends what kind of church my mom wants to go to.
Okay.
Because if she wants
Yeah.
to do the 10 o'clock
Right.
one,
The morning or evening. Yeah. So you'll have
yeah.
to check on that time frame, but then just ask her about when you guys are planning to go to church, and then you can choose, a different time of the day. Yeah,
Yeah. Yep. Sounds
great.
perfect.
And then what I would recommend is kind of block those times off. It sounds like your schedule is pretty consistent. So block those times off and dedicate them regularly to your voice acting. So it becomes habit to use that time. And then look ahead for the week and go, okay, I want to work on this day. I want to work on that day. And then this on this day and that on that day. So you're going to plan ahead what it is you're going to work on each day. So you might
Mhm.
say, okay, I'm going to try to get done 10 auditions on this day. And then that day when I'm at the shop, what are things that I can do, even if I'm not recording? Well, I could be practicing dialects, or I could be studying scripts. I could be
Oh.
looking up new auditions that I like want to submit on Saturday. I could be building up my profiles more. I could, think through all the different things that you do that help you with your voice acting. And then
Could
you
you
can work on those even on Thursday, even though you can't record that day. You could still be doing other things to help. And then plan out like each day what you're going to do. Yeah,
Yep. Could you actually name off those things I could be doing at the shop again? So I can write it
sure.
down real
Yeah.
quick.
Okay. So what can we do to practice voiceover when you're not recording? So, one thing you could do is do like voice and articulation exercises. So maybe like tongue twisters or exaggerated enunciation. You could do like some breathing, breath control drills. You could also do cold reads. So this means that you pick random material, books, articles, ads, character scripts, and you practice delivering them smoothly on the spot. So it's like sight reading a piano piece. So you're doing a cold read. You could also do some character explorations. You could read dialogue in different character voices and emotions and practice crafting some different character voices or practice flexing different emotions as an actor. You can also do some script marking. So, like, take your scripts that you're going to be working on Saturday and then mark where you want to do pauses, where you want to emphasize a word, how you want to have your inflections go. Um, you can also do some listening and analysis. So, you could listen to like audiobooks with narrators you really like, commercials, animated performances, and then you can try repeating back and try to sound like the person you're listening to. Another thing you could do is kind of study the inflections or the pacing and analyze how the professionals you're listening to are using their pitch, their tone, their timing to convey certain emotions. Um, you also can do like facial and mouth stretches. You can do like posture and breath awareness. You can do like visualization and emotion work. Um, but that's just, like voice and character exercises. So, you also can work on like your profiles, building those up, updating those. You can research, like take a look at all the different websites and look at deadlines for audition submissions and kind of plan ahead for Saturday what you want to work on at that time. Um, So just kind of thinking of all the things that you want to improve on. So what's one thing that you feel like you want to improve on with your voice acting or one thing you want to work on?
Um, I think definitely I like the exercise you talked about studying inflections, like from
Okay.
other
Yeah.
other people, because I have the I don't know, maybe if it's me just being my own biggest critic, but whenever I listen back to what I record, it feels so forced. It feels like that I'm reading off the script and it doesn't feel
Mhm.
like the character's in that moment right there.
Yeah. Hmm.
It's like every
Yeah.
time I try to work around it, it's like it just feels like it's getting harder to differentiate between.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Um, That's a great idea. I mean, that's a great use of your time. You can also focus on like marketing and branding. You could build a website or portfolio online. You could do like social media presence. You can connect with like potential clients or agencies or fellow voice actors, like message people. You can plan out your next demo reel, like choosing scripts, researching trends that you see in the industry. You can also do like client research, like looking at production companies, ad agencies, casting directors. Um, you can do like financial planning while you're there for like invoices, setting rates, budgeting for your equipment, and you can do like emails and cold pitching. Um, I don't see a whole lot of success with that. But that is something you can do if you see like potential clients around. You could reach out just directly. Um, you could read industry books. So you could read books about like vocal technique, acting methods, or like the business side of voiceover. You can do like mental rehearsal as well. So kind of visualize yourself performing and perfecting a read. So like if you have the script, but you have to be quiet, you could like read it in your head and kind of like mentally practice.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's a lot that you can do in that time.
Okay. Do you think you could send me the recording of this session? Because my
Mhm.
hand can't keep up with what
Oh,
I'm
that's
listening.
okay. Yeah. Yeah. So I can also like I'll type out some ideas for you too, and I'll send you like some ideas that you could use through the week as well, so that you're not just like, oh, what do I do? Yeah. Yeah. So that you're like, yeah, yeah. I would like to do all these things, but I might forget. I forget
Yeah.
things too, so I get it. No worries at all.
Hmm.
Yeah, so then cool. So let's see. So then what are you going to work on Tuesday, Saturday, and Sunday this week in those windows of time that you have?
So, reading off of what I did write, what I want to do on Tuesday would be voice voice articulations, breathing exercises, and facial and mouth exercises,
Cool.
along with dialect processes. I
Okay.
feel like a good chunk of dialects come from different ways that people use their vocal muscles.
Hmm.
Like with the Scots, how do you describe it? It feels like their tongue is on the top of their mouth like the whole time they're talking.
Hmm. That's
Meanwhile,
true.
meanwhile, with something like the British, how do I describe? It feels a little more like they're using a little more of their head voice.
That's true. Yeah.
It's kind of like using their head voice, but attempting to use their chest. If that makes
Mm.
sense, I'm probably
Yeah, it's
speaking
more
out of
like
turn.
open and resonant.
Exactly. A- And basically that kind of stuff. For Thursday, though, gonna be a little more intuitive. Going to be,
Were you going to try to do some listening Thursday?
yeah,
Okay.
listening, cold reads, script marking,
Hmm. Love
and
that.
maybe a little bit into the social media presence, but I don't know how good they'll be without a reel quite yet.
That's all right. And then what do you want to work on Saturday?
On Saturday,
Hmm.
mm, gonna think reading character dialogues and maybe a little more of the inflections too. see if I can dedicate that day and to figure out what makes actors sound so real.
Okay.
Because because just a little bit ago I was watching it was like I think an animation, like a cartoon, and the scream that the dude had, it was spooky to say the least. Like sounds like they actually were beating him up in front of the microphone and he was calling for help.
Wow. That's impressive.
Mm-hmm. You probably had something going on. There was something going on in that booth that made him scared.
They did a good job, sounds
Yeah.
like. So then what about Sunday? What do you want to do on Sunday?
Sunday, I kind of want to try the financial aspect.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
because I've got horrible spending habits. So maybe learning how to budget would be pretty nice.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. So I think it would be good to make a rates
Yep,
sheet.
rates.
Um, maybe also like make a note of how much money you have in your voice acting account right now, or like how much you have to work with, or like put how much you've invested into voice acting at this point and like how much you've earned at this point and look at those figures for yourself. Um, Making a rates sheet is really helpful. And then also a budget that's clear for yourself, with things like the different websites that you're on, like pay to audition sites, coachings, equipment, all that stuff. So like track spending, track income. So setting all that up for yourself.
Yep.
And then anything else you want to do that day? Is that good?
I
Have you
think
thought
that
about what you want your rates to be? Like, what's your per finished hour rate? So, for instance, how much do you need to make hourly to make a living at this?
mm, uh I think I might have to look at
Yeah. So
other
what we
sheets to get a
do,
good
I mean, I can
reference.
also like tell you what kind of like industry standards are, but
Oh,
just
yes,
kind of
please.
thinking of like where you live and how much it costs to live there and like all that kind of stuff. How much do you feel like you need to make per hour at your work,
Uh,
at your job?
at my current job, I'm making around $20 per hour
Okay, so if you want to make the same doing voice acting, you need to charge 60 per finished hour.
per
And the
finished
reason
hour.
is because you take your hourly rate and times it by 3. So is
Okay.
that what you want to be making is 20 an hour for your
Sure,
time?
that could
Okay.
definitely work.
So your per finished hour rate then is 60 because it's hourly times 3. And then you're also going to have an option of royalty share and royalty share plus.
Okay. What are
So
these?
royalty share plus means that you get a percentage of royalties plus an hourly rate. Royalty share means you just get a royalty. So royalty share usually is you're going to split evenly with like with the company that hires you or the person that hires you. Royalty share plus means you probably get like a fourth of royalties
Okay.
plus an hourly rate. So what would
Yeah.
you want to make for that hourly rate? So it's probably not going to be this 60 per finished hour. So if
Mhm.
I'm taking like half of what I normally would take, I'd probably like say 30 then, half of your per finished hour rate.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
you're
that
doing half the royalties that you would make otherwise. So those are going to be on there. And then something that I recommend doing is ask for if it's like somebody that you haven't worked with before and you're not going through a site that helps with like the financials like Fiverr or like ACX doing royalty
hmm
share and whatnot. Um,
Yeah.
you could ask for half up front ahead if you want. You don't have to though.
hmm
That's up to you. You could ask for half up front. And then another thing that you probably want to do is I like to say how many revisions I'll do. So, like add-ons and such. So, for instance, I usually say I will record
Oh,
like a sample of it or like a certain amount of the project and get
okay.
feedback and like an okay on it.
Mm-hmm. Yep, makes sense.
Then what I say is, okay, once I get that okay that I'm on the right track, I will like finish recording. And then at that point, they get to listen to it, and I will not do more than 3 revisions. So that means not recording the whole thing. It means they tell me what specific things need changed, and then I will change those specific things, and they get 3 chances to tell me those things. Once I've done 3 revisions, they have to pay extra to have any more revisions done.
Makes
So then
sense.
you have to decide, like, how much am I going to charge for every revision beyond that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you also can do things like, deadlines, how much time you need.
Sounds about right.
You can also have things like they get the MP3, but if they want a high quality WAV file, it costs more. And how
Oh.
much are you going to charge them for that? So all these
Mm-hmm.
like add-on things you can charge for. So those are considerations. Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
definitely.
Okay, cool. So I put those notes into the sheet that I'm going to send you after this too, of notes from the lesson. All right. So then, thinking about then for the rest of today, have you gotten any like audition notices, or do you have anything that you want to record or work on, like a certain script that you want to work on, or a certain dialect or accent?
Mm, seems like one sec. Sadly, no, nothing yet.
Okay, that's all right. Um, so if you were here's another thing though. Like if you're on Voice 123 and on really any site, the more clips you have on your profile, the more likely they are to find you and hire you and invite you to audition to things. So,
Okay.
just making as many clips and as much variety as you can put on your profile as possible is a good use of your time. So, what do you feel like would be a good type of script
Mm,
that you want to work on?
do you think we could do the WWE one again?
Sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
because I'm still having trouble with the loud control.
Okay. Yeah,
Let me pull it up real quick.
sure.
First Audacity. Install update, I'm worried. Because every time I do it, there's always a problem at the end.
Oh,
Oh. Following applications are using files that need to be updated by setup. It's recommended that you allow the setup. Please, for the love of all that is holy. Yeah, it did it. Yay. I got an update without it crashing.
that's awesome.
Then I'm gonna share the screen real quick. Oh, could I get screen share really quick?
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, 1 second. Um, all right. I think you can do it now.
Yep, perfect. Thank you. There we go. Let's see. There's the script.
Great. Awesome.
Hmm. Now it's around right. There it is. I was practicing this week with it. Like
Yeah.
like I did spend actual time. I did spend like was actually practicing this one because it was really fun.
Hmm.
Yeah, this one's a blast.
Okay,
But yeah, just read it real quick just to see if it got any better.
let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Monday Night Raw. Tonight, the action is unstoppable, the rivalries are intense, and the stakes have never been higher. We are here live in Madison Square Garden in front of a sold out crowd. And this is where legends are made. And kicking things off, he's the man who needs no introduction. He's the powerhouse, the wrecking machine, the undisputed force of destruction. Here comes Titan Steel. What? Wait a minute. What's this? That's Viper Cross's music. He's not scheduled to be out here right now. What is going on? Tensions are about to explode. These two have been at each other's throats for weeks. And tonight, it all comes to a head. Will we see an all out brawl before the bell even rings? Buckle up, WWE Universe. Tonight's gonna be one for the ages.
Nice. Awesome. How'd that feel?
Like a lot of fun.
Good.
Felt super good, but I felt like there are some parts that weren't emphasized enough.
Okay. So what words would you want to emphasize more?
Hmm. So there's some of these words that are like full caps,
Yeah.
and another some that are bolded. So I feel like there's
Okay.
gotta be a little bit of a range between like bold is gonna be super powerful.
Okay.
Bold in caps is gonna be omega powerful.
Yeah,
Because this guy sounds excited, like he's trying to motivate everyone to get on the edge of their seats and watch
definitely.
this all out brawl.
Yeah, for sure.
Mhm. Mm. I feel like I was definitely not giving enough time between the rests too.
Okay. More time to rest. Love it.
Hmm. Because I feel like I was doing pretty decent with the pitch variation if I'm going down the checklist of stuff I should be looking at. And I thought speed was going pretty okay. Let me try that again real quick.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Monday Night Raw. Tonight, I got too cut off.
That's all right. Try again.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Monday Night Raw. Tonight, the action is unstoppable. The rivalries are intense, and the stakes have never been higher. We are here live at Madison Square, right in front of a sold out crowd. And this is where legends are made. And kicking things off, he's a man who needs no introduction. He's the powerhouse, the wrecking machine, the undisputed force of destruction. Here comes Titan Steel. Oh, but wait a minute. What's this? That's Viper Cross's music. He's not scheduled to be out here right now. What is going on? Tensions are about to explode. These two men have been at each other's throats for weeks. And tonight, it all comes to a head. Will we see an all out brawl before the bell even rings? Buckle up, WWE Universe. Tonight is gonna be one for the ages.
Nice. Awesome. How'd that feel?
I think that one went a lot smoother.
Great. Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Awesome. So let's have you record this one then, this evening. Could you do it like right now when we hang up?
Yep, yep,
And
we
then
can
what I
I
want
can
you
do
to
that.
do is save it and then upload it to all your profiles.
I'll upload it to all the profiles.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Alrighty.
Yep. Should I
And then
send
I'm
it to
gonna
you
send you
first
an
to see if
email
it's
with
okay?
notes from our session today, okay?
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Cool. All right, so I'm gonna do that right now. So you'll get that from me in just a moment, okay?
Yep,
All
sounds
righty. Well, I'm
awesome.
excited to see you next week and hear how everything
With more
goes.
done.
All righty. Well, keep up the good work and I'll see you soon.
Deal. See you
Bye,
then.
Samuel.